The Sophisticatedly Ratchet Podcast is a roundtable formatted conversational podcast about any and everything.
6 Black queens and kings from New York City,
sharing our views on Black lifestyle, culture, relationships, religion, and current events.
Here at SR, we try to give our listeners the real in a world of fake.
Worldly professionals with class that also know how to switch it up.
Now let's talk our wild shit.
Peace and love, tribe.
Hello. What's up, tribe? How everyone doing today?
We're good. Hey, bestie.
Hey, guys. Of course, you know it's your girl. And I'm going to start off with introducing my family.
Talk about it.
I would like to start off with my boy, Sly Boogie. What's good, Boogie?
What is good, everybody? Mo is good. Queen Bronx, what's going on? It is me, Sly Boogie. Sly under the score, Boogie, but never under the score, over the score. Anyway, I just thought of it on the fly. What's good, Trop?
What's good? I want to, shoot over to someone who be dripping and sliding all over the place. What's up, Spew God?
Hey, shit. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mash, aka the Spew God. Drip. Please say the drip. Representing South Jamaica, gang. Representing South Jamaica Queens. Only Queens make kings. And welcome back, tribe. So happy to hear. See y'all.
And of course, I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't introduce myself.
I know.
It's your girl Mo. I'm always in the third slot. Of course, I represent Co-op City Section 5. Don't ever zone my shit. We already know what it is. I'm heavy on the Bronx tip. What's good? Of course. And I'm going to shoot off to my bestie, Ice baby. The Ice Queen, TJ. What's good?
We know the cold shoulder.
The cold shoulder, and I got my shoulders out.
I know you see it, right?
What up, tribe? This is your girl, TJ. I'm just really excited for this episode. I love current event episodes. Right. I feel like those are our best episodes, honestly. And I feel like the tribe really does connect with us on it. So, tribe, you guys are in for a treat.
I think our best episodes are the one that include lots of sex.
That's every episode.
That's every episode we end up talking about that.
Y'all nasty. Y'all forgot.
Exactly. Well, let me go ahead and introduce the philosopher who be philosophizing. What's up, Flash?
You talking to me?
Of course, I'm talking to you.
You talking to me? Okay.
Come on, big gang. I'm talking to you.
I know. What's up? What's up, tribe? What's up, everybody? Peace and love. Today, I am the dreamer who chooses to stay awake. Also, I ain't even gonna hold you. I got Fenty on my body. All right.
Okay.
I told you I'm in love with Fenty, like men's underwear right now. All right.
Let me see it.
Please don't.
I want to see.
Please don't. I don't know what you're gonna show, dog. I don't know what you're gonna show, dog.
So where does it say Fenty? Is it on the waistband?
What? I was trying to look. I think it is.
Let me see the waistband.
Oh, Fenty. Yeah,
he got on his sweatpants. He got great sweatpants on too.
Y'all know what they love. Ladies love the sweatpants. They love the sweatpants.
Come join us on YouTube. So Ratchet Podcast.
Yeah, but but it is me. It's your boy Flash the Philosopher. It is he. It is me. It is I. What up?
What up?
FYI, the community is looking at you, and the community is like the gay community. No shade. I know you don't like that, but they were like, "Who is that dark guy with the beard?" So just FYI, you're loved by many. Okay, I've been asked by is he Flash straight or is he gay? Is he part of the family? And I said,
he's very.
I represent for the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Right. I support the rainbow in the tribe, right?
I represent for the
not.
Okay.
Yeah. Good. But I want to let you know that people are feeling bald head beards. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You getting looks. They were asking me. They were like, is he a part of the family? And I said, no, but he's adjacent. He's an ally.
Yes, he's cool. Perfect way to do that, TJ. And of course, last but not least, my HSD, the one who wanders all over the daggone place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
In the dark.
Let me introduce my boy Shake. What's good, Shake?
Yo, it's your boy Shake,
Mr. HSD. Y'all know what it is. Yo, welcome to Sophisticatedly Ratchet, one of the very few podcasts with the skill to turn and talk about what could we be talking about? We could talk about freaking shopping or self-care into a talk about sex. That's our skill right there.
That's that type of podcast. Absolutely.
Definitely. So now I want to bring it to our segment where TJ aligns us and gets us together and centers us before we start to, before we get into the episode. So get us together, TJ. Get us together.
So I decided I'm going to share something personal with the tribe right now. I've been going through some things regarding just how I'm feeling in my spirit. And a lot of it comes from how you perceive things, interpret things, and then how you speak about it, how you communicate. So, and I've done this chakra before. You guys know what chakra I'm talking about now, right?
The throat chakra?
The throat chakra.
That's my shit.
I know. You guys think of the throat chakra when it relates to head, even though that's important too. But it's really for communication. Let me read to you.
That is communication, by the way, but go ahead.
It is. It's sexual communication. It is. You're right. That's not a lie. But I just feel like this hit me so deep when I was like just thinking about which chakra to do today. And I was like, this is what I need. So hopefully the tribe, you guys need this too. So the throat chakra is located in the center of the neck. It represents the ability to speak and communicate clearly and effectively. When it's imbalanced, and this is what I felt like I felt, the attributes would be feeling shy, withdrawn, arrogant, and increased anxiety. And I feel like I've been feeling that lately. I don't know why. Let's go ahead and align that chakra so that we're feeling ready to communicate effectively, right?
Effective communication.
That's right.
And you get to speak nice, TJ.
Truth, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And I just want to say how mindful that breath was for me just now. So let's do another one. Deep breath in.
That's 2 deep breaths.
And out. Oh no. See? When my chakra's not aligned.
Stop. You got it.
See? All right. Thank you guys. I needed that positivity. That's what I needed. See, this is why I'm fucking up. Okay.
TJ,
right.
Can you guys give me your energy right now? Give me your energy.
All right.
You already got it.
Take a deep breath. You have it. Take a slow, deep breath in and take a slow, deep breath out, and then go ahead.
You still got it. You
What
still got
the
it. You still got it.
hell?
You still got it.
I
You
mean,
still
you
got
kind of
it.
aggressive with it right now.
Because listen.
I'm glad we zoomed in on you.
What's going on?
Because you're not
right now.
This is why I need the throat chakra cleared.
Listen.
Maybe you got the wrong
Concentrate too
chakra.
much. Just be free flowing.
I'm trying.
But don't try. Just do. Don't try.
Oh, just do.
No, just do.
Yes. Okay.
Just
okay.
do,
Present,
baby.
TJ.
Is it the way you holding it?
No, I always hold it like this.
Really?
But TJ, it's on your palm though. What happened to the little palette thing you had? Put it on the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
it's
on the
there.
palette thing. Oh shit.
Guys,
Your chakra's
my
all
throat
messed up.
chakra
What's
is
going
blocked.
on here?
My
What's
chakra
going on
is
here?
blocked.
But can you hold it? Wait, is there a string on it that I see there?
Yeah.
Try holding it from the string itself.
Okay.
And do
My
it.
magic has disappeared.
No, you can't use
So
that.
you blocked. It's all
I
right.
rebuke that in the mighty name of Jesus. See how negative I am?
You made
No,
it.
but TJ, but this is okay though. You're allowed to have off days. I think this is normal.
Yeah.
Like, you know how great you was doing the last few episodes? You know how much like chakra we consumed?
Exactly. And you was very transparent and said that you did not feel aligned. And
I
so
don't.
it's okay. We're all not going to be aligned every single day of our lives.
Right. We have good days.
That's
we have
just
bad
facts.
days.
Right.
That's just facts. It's facts on facts.
All right, guys. So
Okay.
you know what?
So-
It's the throat chakra. You guys can look it
Yes.
up and cleanse yourselves. Okay.
But you know what's wild though, TJ?
digress.
I kind of saw this coming because when you told us the other week how like your chakra was flowing all through the building and shit, and it was going down 90
And it
floors.
was
I was thinking like,
good,
I was like,
yeah.
she's using too much. You know,
there's never too much. There's
She's
never
expending too much chakra energy.
Jeez.
You know, once you run out of chakra, that's it. You know, word on the street.
Exactly.
So you gotta harness that.
Don't believe that shit.
No,
Don't believe
it
that
is true though.
You can always find it. At the end of the episode, I will make sure that I'm gonna make an intention to speak my truth during this episode, and at the end of the episode, I'll try again. And that's
Perfect. There we go.
I like that.
All right. So we going to the next, to our infamous word of the week. Word of the week.
Good evening, everybody. So the word of the day today. Word of the week. Sorry, not word of the day. Word of the week.
Word of the week.
The word of the week
Correct.
for today is dumbfounded. Most of you guys have heard this before, but you know how often you use it in a sentence. Okay, dumbfounded means greatly astonished or amazed. All right. So I'm gonna use it in a sentence. I was dumbfounded by the stupidity of my next door neighbor.
What they did?
Huh? Well, stupidity meaning she left all the shit on the terrace. So you know the balconies are right next to each other. So she lets her dog out on the balcony and he shits all over the balcony. Oh, you know what? I'm dumbfounded by the untidiness of my next door neighbor. How about
Who
that?
falls off the terrace?
No, it stays there. She doesn't clean it. Like it's just.
So you guys smell it.
Yeah, you can't even sit out there, and it's hot. Yeah,
yeah, that's not one.
Yeah.
So y'all need to let her know something. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic how the word dumbfounded is associated with some negative shit? Like you're not dumbfounded by something actually intelligent. Like I'm not surprised that shit could be dumbfounded by that dumb shit. Anyway, I just found that kind of crazy. I'm not dumbfounded by something like actually intellectual. At least I never heard no one talk like that. Anyway,
right.
Well, I'm dumbfounded by the expanse of the universe. Like we are literally just sitting on a rock in the middle of nothing in the universe that's full of stars and shit. I'm dumbfounded by that.
Absolutely.
Or you could say that I don't even understood how that girl spelled that word in the spelling bee. Like it was such a difficult word. I was dumbfounded. When she was able to spell it.
Gotcha.
Some shit like that.
Thank you, Shake, for the word of the week.
All right.
So let's get into this week's episode. Yes, let's get into this week's episode. We're talking about current events, of course. So we talk about everything that's happening, what's moving, what's shaking. So I'm gonna start off with our boy Mash. Mash, what's going on? What you talking about?
So I want to update all of y'all on this monkeypox situation that we got going on here.
Okay.
All right. So as of last week, the Biden administration declared the monkeypox outbreak as a U.S. public health emergency. All right. So for those who don't know, monkeypox is a poxis virus, and it's related to smallpox and cowpox. And it generally causes
chicken pox too.
Okay, y'all niggas ain't seen it. It says it generally causes pimples or blisters and lesions and flu-like symptoms such as fever, and this is according to the U.S. Center of Disease and Control Prevention. The thing about monkeypox is that it's spread through skin-to-skin contact. It's really interesting because when I was doing my research for monkeypox, the data that it shows is that the last 7,000 reported cases in the U.S., a majority of those cases came from men, from homosexual men, right? And this caused me to have a ratchet thought, which I'd like to talk to you guys about, is that, you know, there are statistics that are given based on numbers, right? And I'm concerned about those statistics and how they create stereotypes about groups of people, right? So monkeypox, for example, in last week, 7,000 people reported. A majority of those people who reported to have monkeypox were homosexual men in the Hispanic and Black community. Now, that data may very well be what it is. It might statistically be those people who are reporting it. But now the consensus that comes behind that is that, well, what may be relieved is that only these people have this disease and only these people are sharing this disease amongst people, so that you can only get it if you are in contact with a gay man. You know, that type of stereotype is what I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as a ratchet thought. And what are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you believe that statistics create stereotypes about different groups of people?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
burn cards.
I don't
Yeah.
think you need burner cards. For
I was
that
gonna
one.
say
the cards.
right.
No,
No,
go ahead,
so
Mo.
it's to the thought. Absolutely, because you're grouping together one particular group of people, so it can allow you to stereotype that group. However, if you are also following monkeypox, you would know that there's females that have obtained monkeypox. There are children who have obtained monkeypox. So once that started to happen, you can no longer just identify that particular community as being the host of just having those monkeypox, because there's other individuals outside of that community that have developed monkeypox as well. So they need to, dig a little deeper. And if they're going to tell a story, they need to talk on the story in a totality of things that are, or populations that are also obtaining monkeypox.
Now
I
here's
agree.
the thing. Oh, wait, go ahead, TJ. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say not just statistics, but just the imagery in media, right? Like the World Health Organization has like a black hand of a little kid. It's like a little black hand. So they're showing that like kids obviously have it, but showing that it's a black kid. Like we're the white kids that got it, so it does kind of put that out there, like the way that media portrays who has it. And I feel like this is very similar to how AIDS was in the US or reported in the US initially.
Correct.
I'm gonna be honest with you, TJ. I don't agree with you. I agree with you as to the fact that I agree with you guys as to the fact that that if they were to phrase it like the gay community is the reason for monkeypox, this is what it is, and the gay community, and they try to demonize the gay community, but I don't feel like that's happening. I'm be honest with you. I feel like the news is being actually very careful about labeling this as a gay disease. As far as I've noticed, and I've been watching the news, and nowhere have they been saying, "Oh, this is a gay disease." They're just giving the facts. This is going on in the gay community, and it's increasing in the gay community. That's facts. Those are stats right there.
Yeah, but the perception of that, though.
It's a stat. It's a stat.
To play the lawyer,
how you take it is how you take it.
No, it's like the TJ is accurate in regard to the image. Like even just think about the crack epidemic. No one's saying that black people are the people that's responsible for it, but there was just so much imagery surrounding it where it's like you were forced to kind of think in a certain direction. And I feel like imagery is powerful, and there's so much diversity where it's like if you're just seeing just one image of one particular hand and not others, yeah, that is going to influence how you think, how you're looking at things. That's how it's worked for decades.
I feel like a lot of times, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into the imagery because they always try to. They're trying to include black and brown people and everything. So I'm not surprised that they utilized it. And I don't know if the intention was ill intention and when they did that and not more of like maybe more inclusionary. But at the same time, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like the fact that they're not really giving us any real information on how this shit is being spread. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck is this really being spread? Like, are the gay people shaking hands more often than us? Like, what's going on? Like, so what is this skin to skin contact that's causing this disease to spread? Now, I understand you said it was in women and in children. Now, women do come in contact with the gay community. They do. And I'm not trying to demonize the gay community. You said children, and I think kids are fucking nasty. They do nasty shit. They put shit in their mouth that they shouldn't be putting in their mouth. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
Why are we getting at the kids, though? I'm kind of confused.
Because she says kids caught monkeypox, too.
Just to give more context. Monkeypox is spread through close contact. According to the CDC, you need to have physical direct contact with someone who has had or has monkeypox, and it's required
sex.
No. You guys remember having chickenpox?
You need to have.
Yeah, you gotta touch it.
You had to stay home.
Yeah.
Right, because it was super contagious. If you were around someone else that had chickenpox, you got it, right?
But chickenpox didn't stay within one community. That shit was everywhere. How do you?
And this is everywhere too. You're
saying
you're like contradicting what you just said. You said the media, right? You just said that the media.
I said the media has been careful about not demonizing the gay community.
Correct.
But I'm trying to figure out why is it being spread so much within that community. It's not about like
media is making you feel like it's only in the gay community
because it's the stats. Because that's the stats.
All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit further in terms of cases of monkeypox. So the numbers are in the United States, and this is the part that we play into the imagery part. The United States has 7,500 cases. Spain has 4,900 cases. Germany has 2,800 cases. United Kingdom has 2,400 cases. Brazil has 1,474 cases. The Netherlands has 959 cases, but you don't see imagery of any white faces that have monkeypox.
Correct.
I think that's interesting. I think that's worth discussing, because if you have all of these Western countries who are catching all of these cases, the imagery that you see still is of African people, minority, where it historically originated from, quote unquote, but you don't see current imagery of those things. You only see the old images. And I think that plays a part in the way that we perceive things. Now, Sheikh, you were concerned about how it was spread. It spread through skin contact. It just so happens that the people who are reporting it are people in the gay community, but that does not mean that they're the only people who are transmitting, or they are. Absolutely. Right. It's not exclusive to that group of people. It just so happens that they're the first group to be out here explaining that they have this disease, and that's what the statistics show.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sheikh. Go ahead, Flash. My fault.
Nah, I was just saying, like, I always think, like, historically, numbers always come with assumptions, no matter, what topic it is. I think it is partly the media that's gonna kind of like perpetrate some of the views that we're gonna get from a disease. Because, for instance, even when the COVID shit first started, everybody wanted to just point fingers at China. They said it was developed in China, it started in China, it's that and the third, and the numbers propagated into just saying like, well, we got to blame somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that's the danger in numbers and assumptions, because it's not telling the whole truth. It's just giving you a statistic of a small subset of.
But those are facts, buddy.
No, I understand those are facts, but what I'm saying is the facts become skewed when like those are the only facts you're presented. So this is why I say it. I'm not surprised that the numbers make you want to say like, oh my God, something happened in this community, but I just don't think that's the whole story. I think it's just part of the story, and that's what light is being shined, and that's all it is at the moment.
I'm thinking about the exclusivity where like the imagery and how it's a factor because of how people think that it's exclusive to a specific group. It's like you could replace the monkeypox with the pandemic, the crack epidemic, COVID, and you can have some similar instances where people have that mindset based off images where, hey, that got nothing to do with me, and that's not the case at all. I'm just saying to say that imagery is a factor, because if you start thinking that you're excluded or it creates that kind of separation, is what I'm thinking, where you got the people that's thinking they don't got nothing to do with it, and the people that realize that everyone got something to do with it. I guess maybe I'm going on a bit of a rant, but that exclusivity thing is a problem in terms of the mindset. It helps, it distracts from trying to pay attention to what's actually going on, in my opinion. The imagery and the exclusivity mindset helps distract from paying attention to what's actually going on, the actual facts. That was my thought.
And can I just close it on this real quick? I want to encourage you guys to watch a film called And the Band Played On. It was released in 1993. And if you watch it, there's tons of celebrities in it that are big time celebrities now that weren't that big then. But it talks about how the AIDS epidemic was handled in the US. And this is very similar. Like, it wasn't like a big deal until it starts affecting other people outside of the gay community, Nice. So I just want you guys I encourage you guys to watch that film and then think about how we're actually handling this currently.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Thanks for that, TJ.
So before we close, I just want to say, everybody, wash your fucking hands. All right. Wash your fucking hands. All right. The COVID is still a thing. All right. Now we got this monkeypox shit.
Yes.
Please wash your fucking hands. If you think you might be sick, stay in the crib. All right. Quarantine for a couple of weeks. Get your shit together. I think it's really interesting that people are more concerned with not so much COVID, but the way they look.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
The visual appearance is scaring niggas, and they don't got filters for that.
Mindset.
All right, so we need to make sure that we wash our hands.
Remember?
And keep it.
Nah, chickenpox did not look like monkeypox, TJ.
These
Monkeypox
motherfuckers These motherfuckers don't cure chickenpox and replace it with monkeypox. You know what I'm saying? Because chickenpox, none of the kids is getting chickenpox nowadays. If you see,
because there's vaccines.
Because there's a vaccine for it now. But anyway, yes. So we're gonna move on, and Boogie, you're gonna take us to our next segment that we'll be talking about.
Yes. So we have some money going down the drain right now. We have the recent Batgirl film being canceled by DC, straight shelved, and I'm gonna talk about why it's important. Let me try to get y'all some imagery real quick. Pardon me. There's been an official statement from the actual head of DC, pretty much stating that the objective is to grow the DC brand, is to grow the DC characters, and our job is to protect the DC brand. So that is the official statement and why they canceled Batgirl 100%. This was a project that was greenlit in 2021. Michael Keaton was involved, as well as Brendan Fraser in the cast for the movie. I can actually show that to you. But the reason why this is a big thing, a bad thing in every sense of the word, is that, like, you think about the films that came out before, Wonder Woman 1984, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. I wouldn't say that those were blockbusters, especially when you compare them to other films. And we got to actually point out that other film right immediately, Marvel. So in terms of how they performed to other Marvel projects, they have not been well received, I guess, in that regard. So the Batgirl film itself actually started it was a black woman that was portraying Barbara Gordon, not the traditional Batgirl that we would know. Barbara Gordon in the comics is traditionally white. So we haven't seen, there's no like trailers or anything of that nature. So we haven't actually seen the project, see if it's good or bad, but the DC heads will not even put it on their streaming platforms. They won't even put it to let people stream it for free to people who already have access to the streaming platform. So if it's that bad, compared to Wonder Woman 1984, that really says a lot about the quality of that film and what DC is doing. Again, $50 million down the drain. I'm sorry, go ahead, TJ.
I'm confused because I'm not into this stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But like, why did they pull it? Why are they not showing it?
Official quote was, "Our objective is to grow the brand, to grow the DC characters, and protect the DC brand." And that is coming from the Discovery CEO, David Zaslav. That's the
okay. So that's the official statement that they made. What are the people that are fans of DC and Marvel thinking? Right? Like, what are you? What are your thoughts? Like, why would they cancel it? Allegedly, your thoughts, right?
There's been like speculation, but the idea is that like there's been a kind of trend with certain female-led roles, and they have not been performing well. I referenced Wonder Woman 1984 and Harley Quinn for a reason. The last one, Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman film did marginally well, but the second one did not, and the quality of that film is debatable in terms of how good it was. And the reason why this is important is because they won't even put this one out to at least let us even see if it's bad. It's $50 million. It's a $50 million movie. There are people that worked on this for 2+ years.
Yeah.
Staff, all that. They have nothing to show for it. So if the execs was like, yo, I'm not putting this out, how bad was this film? That is my speculation. This film had to be complete dog shit bad.
Isn't that the right thing to do though? Like, as a production company, and I'm playing devil advocate here because I feel like if I'm gonna have something that I'm paying, this money for, and y'all show me this product, and it doesn't look anything like how I envisioned it would, especially when we're talking about like creative work such as making movies or whatnot. I believe that might be more common than we think sometimes. Honestly, with like show business, like there are a lot of shows that get canceled because we all think it's so good, but maybe the people who canceled it didn't want to back it due to that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I want to play devil's advocate. I don't want to put this out there, and this is allegedly for me, and because I don't know anything about this, and I don't listen to comics. But what I did hear you say on one particular part is that the Batgirl film, the main character would have been a black woman, correct?
Right.
It is, yes. The
person
who starred Leslie Grace.
Right. So she would have been a black female who would have played this character.
Correct.
Right.
Are we not ready for that?
So why is it right? Why is it that? And the reason why I say that, because in my mind, as I'm thinking from a business perspective, the way that we came out for Black Panther as a community, and that was a male character played, why couldn't it be the same for a female black character that would have been played, and I feel like we all would have came out, which would have supported and utilized, and you would have gathered that money. So I have a little side eye towards that, and I could be absolutely
there's
wrong.
more to it though, Mo.
I do too.
But that's why I absolutely said that's why I said I have a side eye. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I'm still gonna say my side eye view because
that's a valid opinion to have. This is not the first attempt to have a black woman portray a Batgirl character. There's a Batwoman TV show that came out. The first season starred Ruby Rose. The second season starred a black woman. I actually forget her name at the moment. I have to actually get that. But that is actually the last season of Batgirl that did not perform well, but they actually canceled it afterwards. So it wasn't due to people came out to support it, but the quality of the film TV show was bad.
Mo, I agree
with
you
on the whole. Was debatably worse.
Mo, I agree with you on the whole side eye thing. When it's a black girl, but my thing is the black community. We'll come out and support, but trash is trash. If that shit is trash, I'm not going.
It may be.
I'm not going.
That's what it could be.
Coming from a corporate perspective, if I put out $50 million to invest in a film and
I gotta see her
out there to get any money,
people are getting fired.
Really bad.
People are getting fired.
There's
a changing really bad going on.
Right?
Even if they put it out there, they'll recoup some money. Like even if they got
at least stream it, right? At least stream it, right?
And they're not even doing that, my guy. That's why.
With it.
Or just plain shit. Just plain shit.
People should get fired because how did this get past so many levels? You know what I'm saying? Like $50 million.
That has to be answered too. Like we have to see this project, but it's if they don't.
So what I found when I looked this up is that there was a what's that thing that we trying to get for the podcast? We can see if something's good or not. A review. There was a peer review of it, and it didn't come out well, right? And they projected that the film wasn't going to be great, and they decided to cut their losses. From what I saw,
who was watching that?
Well, then I misspoke.
Like insider testing, like insider people, right?
That panel.
Then I have to
know what I'm saying?
Well, then if it was a panel already shown, then that's something different. So if it was already shown and based off of that, they're saying, "Oh no, this is not going to."
Right. So they did the speculations. They had an earnings report that was coming out around that time, and they figured they cut their losses instead of investing in this film and not putting it on the streaming service and not putting it on the live screen. But I also want to touch on one particular thing. I don't think we should consider this young lady black per se.
Because I don't know anything
Leslie
about
Grace. She's Dominican. Not to say that Dominican people aren't black, but
I didn't know. You said black. I said
some of them don't identify as black.
I think that's something to consider.
Yes. Thank you for that enlightenment. Thank you for that enlightenment. Yeah, woman of color. Thank you for that enlightenment because I didn't.
No doubt.
I don't know.
I did want to. There's a segue to this because this Batgirl film is major just in that regard, but there are a lot of other projects coming out for DC, which also kind of brings it to, I guess, concern. We have the Aquaman 2 movie coming out, and I don't know how everybody feels about Amber Heard, but there's just not a lot of positivity surrounding Amber Heard in terms of just her presence. So it's. I'm not going to say like the movie is going to be bad or it's not going to sell, but it's already coming off a bad start because of just the controversy between Amber Heard and Depp.
Never a bad start. People are still going to go out and watch it because they want to like
it's a movie. I'm
watching.
In terms of the Batgirl film, one other thing that was mentioned was the fact that Michael Keaton, for those who don't know, Michael Keaton is the original Batman from the Batman movies. He did the shit with Jack Nicholson, right? Michael Keaton was supposed to appear in this movie to serve as a version of Batman, but my understanding is that DC wants to shelve that for the Aquaman movie, to say that they want to keep his first appearance in the DCU, whatever the fuck they call it, universe. They wanted to make sure that they restricted it and kept it just for Aquaman. That was another reason why they shelved it, because I guess they felt, we didn't want to have this pop off on two different platforms. So they want to also have it on Aquaman too.
They also didn't want to waste the opportunity.
There we go.
On this trash ass movie. That
right.
And then there's one last film. And then pretty much is, let me just make sure to find that. The Flash 2. I'm not sure what's going on with Ezra Miller, but the Flash movie is complete and they are actually going to release that. But obviously with the controversy and just whatever's going on with Ezra Miller, he also is not looking attractive, for lack of a better term. Like no one's going to be seeing him at like press releases promoting this project anytime soon. So
wasn't he missing?
I heard that he has some people kind of brainwashed and some sort of private residence. I kind of stopped paying attention after I saw a video with him kind of cursing out some cops in some sort of language that just didn't.
So, according to Google, Ezra Miller is accused of running a cult, grooming minors, and carrying guns. So, I'm not sure if the Flash movie's gonna be.
White or black?
I don't think
White. White. Okay.
Oh wow.
So my question to y'all is just with regard to what's going on. Do you guys think that DC can recover? I'm not even checking for DC films at all. I'm not looking for any like I don't think any keys or any sort of comic collectors are looking at DC like, yo, this is going to be the property to look at for the next 2 years. I don't.
I think anything can recover as long as it's got like creative power behind it. It just starts with somebody to spark that change and envision something for a brand or an identity that's gonna like make people attracted to it. So because it's a comic type of industry, I feel like they just need a good writer, because I believe good writers can make things phenomenal, from a show you never heard of to something that's been around for years. But when this person writes this portion of a series, it's super dope.
Where are the good writers though?
Just to piggyback off that, I'm just dumbfounded on why it's taking them so long to find a good team to create this content, because there's so many years of material that they can use to reference. The thing about it that concerns me the most is that you could just steal from Marvel. You can steal those same people who had working on those films and have them put in
the same ideas, right?
Right, still the same shit. They got the same. They got the science. They got the platform. They've been doing it for like 10, 15 years. Follow these niggas' platform and make it.
The sad part is they didn't need to. Christopher Nolan trilogy with Batman, that was fine. They could have built off that if they really wanted to.
But they are trying though. They're trying. They came out with a whole DC. See, they was trying to trend in a different direction though. See, DC had came up with a whole DC channel. I don't know if you remember, but they came out with a DC channel. They had the Titans on there. I was watching that show. I really liked it. I
fuck with the Titans too. I fuck with the Titans.
I watched it. Yeah, it was good. It was like they were older. They were like
mature.
It wasn't cartoons. Yeah, mature Titans. And I kind of liked it. But the channel was a bust, bro. It was a bust. And they're trying. It seems like DC is just trying a lot. It's just that they're stumbling. They're stumbling.
I feel like they're panning to like political messages versus just getting like actually writing just good stories, good characters. Like
I think they need to focus more on that right there, writing good stories.
Agreed.
Absolutely, I agree with Flash on that aspect.
I think it's going to take time. I think it's going to be at least 5 years. I'm not excited for seeing Shazam. Even the Black Adam with The Rock, I was looking at that. I was like, cool. But I don't have any expectations from DC. Is just how I'm feeling right now overall. Like
DC is feeling real B-list right now to me. You know what I mean? Like when Marvel call you and shit, you a star actor. You don't ask like how, when. No, you ask me. You answer. Yo, where do you want me to
Marvel?
be? What time?
I'll be over there.
You know what I'm saying?
DC?
You don't ask other questions. With DC, it's like.
How much I pay? What role I gotta play? What movie? Who gonna be with me in it? Like you got more questions than answers. You know what I mean? It's a sad state of affairs.
Absolutely.
What character?
DC, I pray you recover. I love Batman. Don't fuck him up. He's the only thing I got left. Anyway, y'all, that is my news segment for DC.
Thank you, Boogie, for bringing us up to speed on the DC situation. Next, we moving over to the boy Shake. What you talking about today, Shank?
Yo, so I am talking about these motherfucking Kia boys. For those of you who don't know who the Kia boys are, apparently it is a group of teenagers in Milwaukee who are terrorizing people in Milwaukee because they have been stealing thousands of Kias and Hyundais. Okay, apparently these are. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just cut to this. Let me just cut to the story
now.
But let me tell you something. There is a TikTok trend going around. If you got a Kia or a Hyundai, they will take your ignition apart and steal your fucking car. Here it is, 11:20. I have just got off work at 7 o'clock in the morning. I've been in the house all fucking day. I just left out my door at 10:30 to get ready for work. I do security and my fucking car is not here. There is a security lady She calls the tow yard. The tow yard says that my car was towed not from where the fuck it was, but towed from down the fucking, almost to the exit of the fucking rent office, and that the maintenance guy chased away 4 men from my car. My ignition was torn apart. There are 2 flat tires, and now my car is at the fucking tow yard. This is a TikTok trend. So okay. So what I wanted to show
real quick, Shake, do they leave a calling card? Like, do they leave a calling card?
I was about to say, they actually do. They rob these people on TikTok. They actually put themselves on TikTok going to these cars. They're fools.
So apparently these guys are robbing people on TikTok, and they're robbing people. They'll have someone else posting it on TikTok, and it's just, and they're pretty much just wilding. You know what I'm saying? When I say they wilding, like they riding up the streets going crazy. Matter of fact, I just want to show y'all one more video.
Shit. Sure, I would have been very sad if you stole my car. And can you picture me at my house crying when my car's not there anymore? Yeah. And what do you think about that?
Shit, you got insurance?
What if I don't though?
Shit, should have had it. That shit illegal.
You know any key boys that have been shot at while stealing a car?
Yeah.
So you have friends that have gotten in trouble and are in the system.
So basically, we missed the part where he actually showed it. Okay, so let me just explain. Hold on, I'm gonna just remove this completely. Okay, so what they're doing is they're taking a USB drive, right? It's the male part of the USB. They're breaking open the ignition and they're putting the USB into like a USB drive, and they're using that to start the vehicle. Right? You have a bunch of teenagers who's doing this. What they're doing is they're stealing cars from, like, these are innocent people, like, who have to go to work, who have to take care of their kids, who have to do the laundry, shit like that. They're taking people's cars and they're literally just joyriding in it. They're hopping in it, joyriding in it. Like they're hanging out the windows, crashing in the shit. They were actually talking about one kid who crashed a car in 5 minutes, totaled the car. And did you hear what his explanation is? Oh, well, they got insurance. See what I'm saying? Like this is the mentality of some of these.
That's a fucked up mentality, my guy. That's a fucked up mentality.
That's crazy to me.
For real. And then when he asked them about it, no, wait, I'm sorry to cut you off, Flash. But when he asked them about it, he said, what kind of time you guys looking at for doing this? And they're like, oh, it's considered a misdemeanor. We're not going to do any real time, this, that, and the third. So this is what emboldens them. You know what I'm saying? I'm dumbfounded by the fact that they are not getting any type of real time behind this. And my question to the group is, I have a burner question. Okay. Burner question for the group. Please get out your burner cards. I mean, these kids, like I said, these kids are young age. They're from 12 to like 16, 17. Okay. Do you believe that if they get caught stealing a car in general, should they be doing real time?
Damn it.
TJ, you gonna fill out the card?
Okay, I got a note 9 from TJ and Mash. I have a yes from Boogie, and I have a sophisticatedly ratchet from both Moe, Flash, and myself. TJ or Mash, why don't you think they should be doing any time? Like TJ, real time.
You can go first, love. You muted.
Right, take it off the mute, TJ.
Sorry, guys. I was just saying, Mash, you should go first. But anyway,
I'll go first if you want me to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that serious. It's a fucking Kia. All right, let's just take it easy. All right, it's a Kia. It's not that expensive. You got insurance. All right, let's be clear.
Yo, have you seen these Kias though?
Let me finish.
Nice.
Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Kia. All right, unless they killing somebody, they hurting somebody. It's a misdemeanor in my mind. All right, people been stealing cars forever, bro. Just the fact that you got these kids doing this now, that ain't nothing new. All right, the fact that they will get a slap on the wrist, quote unquote, based on that crime and their age, that's just what it is. If they kill somebody, sure. All right, you need to amp up the severity of the crime. But if you just stealing a car, insurance covers that. Like that's what insurance is for. They prepare you for theft. You know,
bro,
so that's why
let
me finish. Okay, that's why I think that the punishment should fit the crime, right? I think that that's the case. The punishment should fit the crime. If I'm stealing a car, then you send me to jail for stealing a car. Don't amp up my crime just because I'm a young black kid and I'm doing this shit. Like that part is what I'm scared of. You know. So go ahead, TJ. I'm complete.
No, and I agree with exactly what Mash said, and that's why I feel like I don't feel like putting them in jail supports them. You put them around other criminals, it doesn't support anything that they're doing. Maybe something that's gonna like, I don't know, like a military school. I don't know, something that's gonna like develop some type of discipline in them or something, you know. But putting them in jail with other criminals, never. And the minute a kid goes to jail, it's like a trend sometimes. You know, like that's all they know. It's a cycle. They stay in that home and jail. They don't know how to live in the real world. So no, it's not supportive. It doesn't support them.
Here's the thing,
right? I was gonna say.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, I you know, and that's part of that's why.
Or y'all giving y'all sophisticatedly ratchet?
No, I'm gonna give my answer. That's why I said I'm gonna go into. That's why I said sophisticatedly ratchet, because I feel like if you're 12-year-old and it's if it's your first time, then okay. But where it becomes sophisticatedly ratchet for me is if you're caught multiple times doing it, then yeah, you should get something. Whether it's a 6 month in, you know, whatever boot camp facility or something like that. But if it's your first time, it's a misdemeanor. It's your first time, but continuing to do the same thing, and that's the point. They're doing the same thing over and over again because ain't nothing happening to them. And I'm not saying that they necessarily need to go to jail per se, but they need to get something to scare them straight. So okay, so this is your fourth time doing this. So now guess what? After your fourth time, this is where you going for about 6 months. And it's like, I didn't know. Yeah, you know, we allowed you 3 previous times. You didn't learn your lesson then. So now this is the 4th time. So now your ass is going here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's see how you feel about that.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
I'm gonna be honest, Mo. I said sophisticatedly ratchet too. In my mind, I'm trying to think of like what punishment could we give a child that we don't want to send to jail. And I was just thinking like maybe they got to go clean like gorilla poop or some shit. I don't know, with a toothbrush. I don't even know. But I think something needs to happen because the new age kid thieves, especially out here, they are fucking the game up, and they are wild because even out here in Atlanta and shit, even though they're not even stealing cars, they go around, they popping people's doors, they checking for shit inside people's cars, and you might say like, all right, that's cool, that it is what it is, you know, if you left your car open or whatever. But look, they got the strap on them and everything, and guess what? If you go outside
just to break the window.
No, they got no. I mean, there was an incident happened some months ago. Homeowner came outside to confront like whoever was breaking into their car, which was like one of these young kids or whatnot, and he got lit up. I think they killed the homeowner. Matter of fact. So
wait,
shit, these kids,
the people that's doing the juke is the one that's is popping the homeowners. Okay,
yeah, and there's just hundreds of thousands of videos that are going around, especially with people who have like you know, home security, and they're showing like your kids is out here pulling doors, checking, and they got the strap like right on them in the video too, because they know like whoever come out and try to start with them, and these kids are young. You could tell these kids are young. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the game is super like different right now because we're also living in a time and space where times is hard. So. And I don't even think like maybe that kid's life is hard to that extent, but you know, they're only doing what the environment is also saying like it's okay to do. And right now, a lot of people is looting and stealing and doing stupid shit. And what's the punishment for that for these kids? I don't think it should be jail time. But once again, like maybe gorilla poop or something. I don't know. They got to do something that makes them say, I don't want to commit this crime.
Let me explain something before you go, Boogie, right quick, because I know Boogie had the opposite answer that it was yes. Okay, the fact that we dismiss that people who are getting their cars stolen as, you know, that, you know, they're not bad, it's not that bad a problem for them. Yo, we fail to understand that some of these people, they don't have it like that. They can't just go out and get a brand new car. I got 6 kids to support. I need to go to work every day, and now guess what? My car is going. I can't go to work. I can't get paid. I can't pay the rent. Now me and my kids are on the street because I can't go to work. These are shit that these kids aren't taking into consideration when they're taking people's car. You understand what I'm saying? There's people that need these cars. You know what I'm saying? And they don't got money where they could go out and be honest with you. Say insurance covers it, but guess what? Liability insurance doesn't cover it. Sometimes people can't afford full coverage. They'll get liability. Their car gets stolen. Now they got to go buy a brand new car. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't got it. I can't even get to work. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't come out here with the expectation somebody was going to steal my car and go off with it. So it's not a victimless crime. There are victims of this crime, and it's fucked up. And my thing is, I don't like to promote the narrative of sending young black kids to jail, but you really got to look at these kids and see how they approaching this shit. As far as I don't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? And if there's a way that we could, lock them up, right, for a certain amount of time, and just let's not put it on a record. Let's not have it follow them through the rest of their life for a mistake they made as a kid. But
why is locking them up your go-to? Why is that your first?
Because they're committing crime and they need to understand that this is a crime. This is a fucking crime.
No. I'm saying in shake world. Let's say you make a new world shake and you were gonna do some type of reform. Would locking people up be the first thing you would do?
I don't know, bro. I don't know any other way to fix it. Somebody steals your car, right? Grown person, that's not even say it's a kid. Grown person steals your car, right? Smashes the shit up, right? They catch the person right there. You think they should set them free?
No, that's not the case.
So what should they do with them?
I mean, they're gonna do whatever they're supposed to do, as in whatever rules are in place now. But if it was MASH world, if MASH could figure out like what the possible solution would be, I have to figure out why the fuck you stole my shit in the first place. You stole my shit because you was bored. You stole my shit just because you needed somewhere to go. You stole my shit because
MASH.
I feel like. But
what's the reason?
This is MASH world. This is MASH world, right? In my world, I want to understand what led to this, because nothing just happens in a vacuum. Right? When you bored, my nigga, you needed something else to do. Your neighborhood ain't got no activities for you, my nigga. This is what's going on for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I would ask that question. I wouldn't just proceed to follow the current rules are in place and just lock them up, because that doesn't fix the problem. That doesn't address the underlying issue. But that's just my 2 cents on it.
If the people who are committing crimes understands that there is some sort of response to it, or there will be some sort of consequence, maybe that'll prevent people from fucking doing it.
Right. We're not dumbass kids that think that they can get away with everything. We're gonna
let Boogie go, and after Boogie responds, we're moving on to Flash. So for Flash for the next segment. Go ahead, Boogie, because you have put yes. So go ahead.
Yeah. So what I want to say in regard to everything is that I don't disagree with the fact that jail is not an appropriate fitting. I don't want to say that jail is the solution, but I do want to reference the fact that, like, we've watched The Wire. There's literally, when I'm literally watching the video and just looking at the segment, I'm thinking of the black kid from The Wire who was stealing cars way back then in Baltimore. So I'm thinking of what Moe is saying in terms of just things, you do it 3-4 times and now you get the sentence. But there's a part of me that's like, yo, you knew it the first time as well. Like, you probably shouldn't have been doing that. And it's 20 plus years later, we got an escalation of that same simple shit where they actually putting it on video. I think that's wild, especially when you consider nowadays where money ain't tight, money ain't like that for a lot of people, in terms of what Shake was saying. So how it fits the crime is, I think, is open to interpretation. Not that I agree with TJ in terms of military school, if that's something that we can actually put into effect, but that's not really how we moving in the real world. So it's like, I wouldn't want these people on the street. Flash is literally saying they strapped up. You can't have these people fucking around and going to people's Kia. They will try to kill you if you try to stop them. That's some crazy shit, where it's like the only option you got is to be strapped up. So I think that is more extreme than people give it credit for, especially when you think about how we've been having this kind of issue in the past and how it's just been continuing. And it's like we should be trying to draw the line more, not just giving chances in this kind of situation. Feel me?
Perfect. Thank you, Boogie. So we're going to move on to Flash. Flash is going to take us to the next segment. Okay. Go ahead, Flash. What are we talking about next?
So we're not going to punish the kids. All right.
No. I mean, well, they need a boot camp or something, but go ahead.
Maybe. Scared Straight. Yeah. I used to really enjoy watching Scared Straight. I ain't going to hold you. All right. So we're going to keep it still on robbery shit. All right. Because that's just what happens in today's world and shit. All right. And I'm going to take y'all to church today. All right. So, like I was even just saying before, we all know times are hard. We live right now in a world where shit is getting weird. People, they do crazy things all for the love of money. even to do stupid shit, honestly. So one such instance that I'm going to talk about happened on July 24th. Three robbers, they busted into Bishop Whitehead's church. They told Mr. Whitehead to get on the floor and give me the
three
loot.
armed robbers.
Sorry, yes, they were strapped. Okay, they did all this while on a live stream that he was doing for his church, and they got away with an estimated $1 million in jewelry. Okay, that's $1 million.
I thought it
in
was
jewelry. Estimate.
I didn't think it was one. I didn't hear it was 1 million though.
I'm just telling you what the estimates say. All right.
Okay.
So they got away with chains, rings, watches. So it was a real
90,000, bro.
Yeah,
it says 90,000.
It does say 90,000.
No. It says,
he said jewelry. He said jewelry though.
Jewelry. Yeah.
Jewelry.
Oh, jewelry.
Yeah, so
okay.
hold on. So I'll tell you about the 90,000 though. So this is like a small video. This is the one that's been circulating as far as the robbery.
I can't wait to see this. I can't believe it.
Yeah, so he's streaming, they busting. You know, he's glamorous.
You're not showing.
We're not seeing it, Flash. We're not seeing the Flash. You gotta click it.
What you mean?
You gotta add it to the stream, Flash.
I did.
I got you.
Oh, hold on.
It's your first day. It's your first day.
Okay, start it over. I got you, Flash.
Shake like demoralized niggas when they fuck
I'm
up.
sorry.
Shake fucked up. Are you serious?
Okay, Shake.
He deleted this shit. Now you deleted it.
I didn't delete it. All right, can y'all see it? Can y'all see it?
Yes, we can.
All right.
And if you need to follow us if you want to see what we're talking about, you can go to our YouTube page, and it's So Ratchet Space Podcast.
So this
That's
is
right, TJ.
That's the preacher right there. He's dripped out.
On Sundays,
all right,
Bishop
Moe
Whitehead delivered his sermon for his leaders of tomorrow.
This is not funny, but I just want to let you know this dude in the corner.
This dude right here ain't move.
He is unbothered.
Very unbothered.
By 3
I feel like he has something to do with it.
In the church.
History. Police say 3 masked gunmen stormed in and rushed right for the bishop.
Yo, Mo, pause that for a second. Now, look, I know this is not a funny thing, right? I know we shouldn't be laughing at the pastor, but that nigga who was sitting next to the stage, he's in on it. Mo, you on it. That nigga did not flinch. That nigga did not swing. He did not move. He froze in the place. He was like, yep, do it. Do it.
He saw that shit happening. He knew it was going down, bro.
Yeah. So also he's getting a lot of flack because all right, can y'all see this video as well?
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
Good afternoon, everybody.
He's a little showboaty in terms of
Whitehead.
his presence, especially as a pastor. So people gave him flack for showing. This ain't even like a living room. This is actually his closet. Okay, his closet looks like a house. It's actually probably bigger than one of my floors. Honestly,
most people's houses.
Yeah, so he lives a very flashy lifestyle. All right, so that's part of his closet. It's a lot though.
He also is not making his money only from being a pastor.
Correct. He's also
into real estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's into real estate.
So
if you don't think that nigga dodging taxes with his pastor shit,
hold on.
That nigga dodging all kinds of taxes, bro.
Right.
Trust and believe.
So you thought that this would kind of shake him up. Nah, he actually was in the congregation speaking almost like the next week. So some things that actually came to light because he's been getting all this media attention as well. It kind of exposed the fact that he's under a $90,000 lawsuit. Allegedly, he had some money that he was supposed to flip for somebody, and you already know, like once you start hearing the word flip in investment strategies, scammers going scam, nigga.
Scammers going scam,
bro. It was found out that he also served a few years behind bars for trying to be the many-faced God, which in my world means you was part of identity theft. All right.
Wait. What's many faces, God? What's that?
Identity theft.
It's a Game of Thrones.
Identity theft. Ain't doing a play on words.
Yeah, but and people were trying to clown even his church. They were saying like, his outfits cost more than his church and all this other shit. And also he owes, I want to say, he owes over $400,000 in judgments to a construction company. And then on top of that, shit was kind of spiraling because he had an interview on the Larry Reed live talk show where he was
and that did not go good.
Didn't go well. Like he called him.
What happened?
He was talking. He was dropping. He was cursing. He basically
the pastor was cursing.
Yes, he talked about the LGBTQ community and basically was like, I follow the Bible and that's not in the Bible. He went there and called people out their name. He's very inappropriate as far as I'm concerned.
Wait, are you trying to speculate Flash by saying that he like staged this to get money?
Well, I'm not
like, you think he's
speculating nothing,
behind
but that is
him getting
that is something
robbed?
that's something a
I
lot
didn't
of
even think
people are
about
saying.
that.
I don't necessarily agree or disagree with nothing because I don't have enough context on everything, especially with the dudes who ran up in the spot and did what they did because supposedly they know what kind of car they was driving and shit. Maybe there's a whole
He
investigation
followed
going
them
on.
out.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to speculate any of that. I kind of just only had a small burner question, and
go ahead.
I say this to say, is a flashy pastor a turnoff? All right. I got sophisticated. Oh shit. All right. I don't know what Boogie got, but everybody says sophisticatedly ratchet. All right. So that's just an open-ended question. Whoever want to go can go.
I'll start. For me, go ahead. You want to go first, Shay?
No, I was just saying sophisticated ratchet because I don't really understand the question. It's a stupid question. But,
Well, I'm showing you like all the shit and the money.
I understand. I understand the question.
Go ahead.
Let me answer.
Like he was targeted because he's flashy.
Right. So. He's flashy. So, for instance, my particular pastor is not that flashy at all. My pastor has on jeans and a blazer. However, to me, if I'm in church, I'm not really worried about the flashiness. I'm worried about the word that you're preaching.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm focused on, to be honest. Like, I'm in tune with what you're preaching, and if it's aligning with me, the connection that I have to you as a preacher, not your flashiness, not this or not that. So that's why I said for me it could be sophisticatedly ratchet, because but what I question, like, okay, he's a little flashy, but what am I receiving? Am I receiving the word when he's preaching? That's how I'm going into the situation. So
that's exactly how I interpreted it as well. Like that's why that's why I thought it was a dumb question, because I don't understand how he dresses is correlated with how he preaches. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't want my pastor walking around looking like a bum. You want him to look nice at least. But flashy, you mean having like rings and chains and
driving
all that
Rolls
other
Royces,
stuff? Driving Rolls Royce.
But maybe the church don't match maybe the pastor's style.
The church don't match the money. Like the church don't like everybody in the church is and he just I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't. I don't really pay attention to all that because you got all these what do you call mega church preachers out there who's getting it. They out there, they getting it because they have a huge congregation. They're making money and they're preaching the word. So let
me tie that to Flash question really quick for you, Shake. So even though the mega churches, and I agree with you, they're making money. However, those mega churches preachers is not wearing 500, wearing the big jewelry or the rings on their fingers.
No, they probably have big ass houses.
Right.
They have huge houses. Their wives are wearing the best of the
But I'm
best.
saying, but he's talking about
everywhere.
He's talking about flashy as far as attending church, because if you saw in the video, he's wearing
he was dripped out. He was dripped
Gucci,
out.
Full Gucci suit to church. He has on rings and chains. That's all types as far as like houses. That's fine. That's you expect them to have. They're getting money, but I think just flashiness as far as his wardrobe. That's how I took the question. Like
I said sophisticatedly ratchet just because of that. Like I can I don't really care about like the chains and all that, but it's like you going to church to kind of get the message religious wise. So it's like if the image is you getting decked out and like all these chains to kind of distract from that, like you're supposed to be a man of the people. At least that's how I interpret a pastor. Like supposed to be representative of God in terms of giving the word. So I don't look at a pastor as being better than the people that he's giving the word to, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I just feel a way if he's like looking significantly richer than me or better than me, or at least that's, I don't know. It gives that impression. A pastor's professional, but I never looked at the pastor as being better than the people who's giving the word to. So when I see all these chains and all that, and just that kind of look, sometimes it does kind of give that effect, because the people that's going to church sometimes may not reflect that, in terms of that financial status. I mean, because they need faith.
Because I'm be honest, would you not assume that some of the tights you putting in that basket might be funding this man's suits?
That's what I was gonna go, Jay. That's what I wanted to say.
Be honest.
So we all know that
in that type of church,
we all know that there's this going thought process in the community that these pastors are making so much money, and people that are giving to the pastors and giving to the church are like barely making ends meet, right? Like that's the going thing. Like, but this guy is making money in real estate. You know, he's not making his money from just the church, right? So do I feel like he shouldn't be flashy? Absolutely not. I do think he can be flashy. He's still human and he has a sense of style. Why not wear whatever you want to wear? I mean, there's a pastors that are spending a lot of money on custom suits. We just don't know how much those suits cost. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to see my pastor look like me. If I'm listening to hip hop and I like to wear Gucci, I want my pastor to look like me. I want to know that that's possible for me. I think that's motivational. I don't like the fact that he is. I don't like the fact that if he was making the money off of the church and he was looking flashy and using all this money based from his church, and his church is like struggling.
Good irony.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's not okay. And I feel like that about any mega church pastor. Like if your congregation is struggling and they're giving that last dollars to you and you're going out and buying Gucci, and, you know, not to say you don't have choice to what you buy for yourself. It's just that, you know, that's not the message that I would like to see, you know?
Correct.
So
like if your church is struggling, is it like, should you be living extravagantly as a pastor if your church is literally struggling? That's another question. I don't know.
I got it.
Absolutely.
Ask somebody like that because it's not.
Because the pastor is the head of the church. You're responsible for your sheep, right? So if everybody's struggling, that's not okay.
But what if I got 2 farms though?
Yeah, I mean, it's like it.
I mean, you know.
So I put Sophisticatedly Ratchet because I feel similar as TJ does. I think that times are changing, and I think it's okay for him to look how he wants to look in order to reach a certain demographic, right? Because he may be preaching about, you know, different things that can touch the youth, that can relate to that image and that vision, and be like, you know what, I want to look like pastor. I want to have money like pastor. I want to have change like pastor. So I could see that being used as a tactic to benefit some people, but I can also see how that could be used against him in the community that he's in, where you're in an area where people don't have that type of luxury, or they don't have those type of fancy things, and they'll take it from you, you know. So I think that's something that you have to be mindful of. If you just got $1 million worth of jewelry on, you can't be in certain hoods with $1 million worth of jewelry on. That's just basics, you know, because you will get got. And I guess that's why homie didn't move when he was sitting at the stage. He was like, "Oh, pastor here. Oh, I know what's happening here. I'm not even going to get involved because this is a jack move." You know what I mean? But at the same time,
I look at him and he was ops. Like I look at him like, yo, you have something to do with that, my man? Like, why you sitting there all chill? Why they trying to rob me? I'd have questions.
But I'm sorry. It's all good. But at the same time, I just feel like I don't know the status of his church, and the fact that he's not making money off of the church is one thing. But if you're leading these people, you need to lead them to financial freedom too, my nigga. Like you need to be giving you need to be giving financial tips during sermon. If you out here drip like
it's
this,
just more than
and you getting it like the way you getting it,
how'd you
can't
get
be
it?
talking about
What's
God.
to say that he's not? What's to say that he's not? In the
mean,
video that I've seen of him on social media, he's saying you guys can get this too. You know,
again, I'm speaking
about his
from
real
the perspective of someone who doesn't know anything outside of what I saw in this article. I don't know what he has taught his people. I don't know how their finances are handled or set up, you know, but I do know that if you're going to be shining like this, you need to have security, my nigga. You can't be out here shining with 90K, you and your lady out here looking rosy, and you ain't got nobody but the Lord holding you down. No disrespect to, you know,
there was
God,
not even like,
you know what I mean? But
people
you need somebody having your back, bro.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Not
I like
that
the
quiet
fact
dude that was sitting there doing nothing. You don't need that guy having your back.
Well, I like the fact that you brought up the fact that, you know, even pastors could get got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my nigga.
Really, yo,
that's
real
sad,
dope.
We live in different times, my nigga.
Yeah, we live in different times. That's a
pastors
fact.
could get it. That's
you need to be easy coming outside with all that jewelry. I know you got it and you want to show it off. And Sunday is the perfect time. But
because you remember back in the wild, you never hit nobody on no Sunday.
Ain't nobody coming to church with no pistols.
Nobody.
They got the Bible in their hand, like God got
nobody.
No,
what
God
happened
got
to honor and integrity? Like you got to hit people up in the church now to try to get the goods. Like
they know that's what he
the
got
church
to do.
alone.
I don't think there's integrity when you're hungry, my nigga. Ain't no integrity.
I mean, grandma and the kids going to church to get the word of God. You trying to do a juke there? That's some sad times. I mean, some place should be sacred is what I'm saying, my man.
Word. Sunday used to be like a day that they wouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't
do shit like that on Sunday. Go in the church to kind of resolve that issue.
That's how it used to be.
Like,
no, that's how it used to be, bro. Like niggas wouldn't even shoot each other on Sundays.
There ain't no days off when you're hungry, dog.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna move along.
Anyway,
we're gonna move along to the next topic. The next topic we're gonna talk about social media really swiftly. So really something big that I'm dumbfounded by, honestly, is really I'm dumbfounded by is the Brittney Griner case. Russian prosecutors asked the court to sentence the basketball player to 9.5 years in jail for cannabis.
Wow.
What?
Yes, 9.5
You mean
years.
the lady that was trapped in Russia for?
Yeah, that's and their closing arguments in their trial. They asked her. They're asking the judge to give her 9.5 years.
Drug smuggling. Wait, drug smuggling though.
Yeah,
because
she
had a
cart. No, I was saying they found a weed cartridge in her bag, I guess.
And
you mean drug possession or like drug smuggling, drug possession? Let me shut up.
No, they got her for smuggling because she was traveling.
Yeah, she was traveling with it, and so and these are why people are struggling too, because in Russia it is illegal. It's illegal, So they're basically saying like, well, she should have known. She's in Russia, but even if 9.5 years, right now, yep, it's illegal though. So right now there's talks with basically Joe Biden and Russia about exchanging prisoners, because we have here a prisoner from Russia who's this man I'm hearing is really out of control. But they don't want us to talk about it. They don't want us to talk about the trade. So that's kind of looks like that's being worked on right now, is the swapping of prisoners. They'll give us back Brittney if we give them the man from Russia.
I just want to confirm she was just traveling and she had vape with her. It's not like she had like a heavy amount of
boogie. No boogie.
Like,
she was traveling at the beginning of the Ukraine incident, the whole Ukraine-Russia thing. Right at the beginning of that, she was traveling in the first week of that shit. So she got caught with this in her bag. So right now, she is just...
She's a pawn. She's a pawn.
Exactly, that's what she is.
She's a pawn.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
9 years though as a pawn. Wow.
They're just shitting on the United States. That's all they're trying to do.
Right. That's exactly what
it is. All this is.
Yeah, she's not even like she's a WNBA player. She's not like just
right.
She got caught up.
It don't matter. Yo, this is a political flex by Russia.
Very strong one too.
100%. They really trying to, I think, send a message that we got something over you. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna make sure. And because they know we care about this, you like her amount of weed that she had got caught with. I remember like looking at other cases for people that had got caught with like marijuana and shit.
Thing.
And they didn't even get not even the 10th of what she got or whatnot. So it's fact.
And that it was the same female, same thing.
Based off the amount.
The difference was that female was white, and it is what it is.
And then peep how they're affecting the next election, right? Because they're influencing the next election, because not only is she black, she's gay. You know what I'm saying? She's black. She's gay.
Yeah. They'll never be able to push that
popular. That shit looks really bad for Joe Biden. You understand what I'm saying? It looks really bad. It's just.
I don't think they'll make her the poster child like that, because that's not going to go over well. I don't think that would.
That's the goal. Make sure Joe Biden loses his base.
Yep. So I'm going to move on to our next topic, which is really hopeful to hear, and that is finally in the Breonna Taylor, the Justice Department charged the 4 current and former Louisville Metro Police Department with federal crimes. So I'm so happy. Finally, Breonna, baby girl. Breonna, they finally, like, she deserves this so much. And I mean, look how long it took, but still grateful.
A question.
So yeah.
Did one of y'all have that on the back of y'all chairs?
That was me.
Right.
Yeah,
that's it. Just
this is big.
This made my
how do you feel, TJ?
Yeah. It made my heart smile. I mean, I was just so excited, and I'm happy I put that on my chair. And it's so crazy because Tamika Mallory posted about it the other day, and I posted my chair, and she reposted me, and I was like, yes, like we can't forget about our people. You know what I mean? And getting justice for them, like true justice for them, right?
Yep. And the 4 officers are being brought up on several charges and offenses. So
the ones that actually did the shooting?
Yeah, like unlawful conspiracies, unconstitutional use of force, and obstruction.
Thank you.
Because apparently one of them lied on the no-knock warrant and stuff like that. So for me, that was just so great to hear. Like, I'm so glad that,
I just want to add some more. Sorry, I mean to cut you off much.
No, go ahead, man.
Some more. They met up and collaborated the story before they went into the file official report, and that's illegal, right?
It is.
That's what came to the forefront now, and that's exactly what is leading to these officers being prosecuted or being coming to the forefront now because they're finding out that they were collaboratively lying about their story, and that's wrong. Like that is just flat up wrong. That just shows that this is real fishy, gang. Like this is very,
how
very
long
suspect,
it took for us to get this type of clarity in terms of just charging these motherfuckers.
I mean, at the end of the day, they already won a civil trial. I'm so happy now that there's a criminal trial with it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy they didn't get away with this shit. Like this, hopefully there will be some justice that comes out of this. And the number one thing that I'm really happy about is the fact that police are now understanding that they're not fucking untouchable.
Yep,
100%.
That's what they need to understand.
Correct.
You're not fucking untouchable. Okay? And
I want to add
niggas up now.
And I want to add, and when you think it's over, even every time when you think it's over, they're coming back. You see, these people were living free lives and everything, and your ass got and it came right back. You know what I mean? So when you think you're getting off, enjoy.
Shout out to our due diligence. We ain't letting that shit slide.
Yeah,
Shout out to the diligence.
And I'm just happy about that. The next topic. Go ahead.
I just always thought it was weird that I think in my mind, I think that's like one of the perks of the job. As far as like when you become like a law enforcement, like you're supposed to feel like you're above power a little bit.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The law should apply to you.
I know that we're saying that, but when you think
but that's not what happens.
Right. When you give somebody a badge, you give somebody a gun, you give somebody just like control of something that your average citizen doesn't have the power to do.
The law. I am the law.
Right. It's like it's hard not for somebody to consume power like that and not feel like they want to exercise it.
That's a fact.
Power corrupts. That's what I think about.
100%. But that's in every profession. Can't you think of in your profession where we sweep things under the rug and hope it never gets brought up again? You know what I'm saying?
No, because that's what you got supervisors for. No, that's why you have supervision.
It'd be the supervisors doing it. It'd be the supervisors doing it. I see it in the medical community all the time. Medical mistakes that that I see people cover up all the time. They bring patients from the OR to the ICU and push drugs to make it seem like this patient's alive. The patient died in the OR.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. That's in every profession. I'm sure it happens in your profession too.
TJ, it's so crazy that you brought it up like that. When I thought you said it happens in every profession, I thought you was going to talk about the abuse of power as far as people being in power and abusing their powers, because it's really hard. Like even in my position, even in my job, like I see some supervisors and I'm like, I never want you to be in charge of me. Like real talk, like because you be wilding. Like exactly when you give people a certain amount of power, a lot of times it's human nature for some people, and I'm not saying for all people, but for some people to abuse that power.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'm going to talk about just three more things really quickly. One of it, I don't know if you guys heard, it was and they actually had a video of it, but the video is a little is cringeworthy. It's a Mercedes-Benz driving like 100 miles per hour down LA street. Who smashed into a whole host of vehicles. It was fire. It caused. I mean, it looks horrible. I watched the video. Wow. However, it was a sister. It was a female, a male, a little boy, and the female was also pregnant. But this is not the video. The female was also pregnant. So this person killed 4 people. In that one, she actually killed 6 total, but that was the one family. 4, and the girl was pregnant at that time. Come to find out, this lady had an argument with her boyfriend and was drinking. And I don't know if she was trying to, because of that argument, she was trying to commit suicide. But not only that, this was a black female. She was a freaking registered nurse, 37 years old. So her life is over right then and there. Like she's the one that drove. She was a nurse that.
So wait, she survived? Did she survive?
Yes, and she survived. Yep.
What?
Yes, she survived.
They make you do dumb shit, yo.
She survived. The nurse survived. Yep, she was a registered nurse. Flying down. If you see the video, she's literally runs right through the light and just hits people. And and she survived, of course.
I am dumbfounded by the fact that so many smart women could be fucking like it seems like they turn to fucking stupid people when it comes to to dick. I'm gonna be honest with you, dick turns women into dummies. I swear to God. Yo,
absolutely
you
not. This is her not managing her own mental health. Okay?
Right. Or she was going
not managing her sadness and her anger.
Right. And wasn't thinking clearly.
And
that's what I'm gonna say. It was a lot of I don't think it has anything to do with dick. You got into a heated argument. You got into a heated argument. You probably took a couple of drinks trying to eat, whatever it was, trying to calm down how you felt or whatever it is, not excusing it. But at that moment, your ass should have sat the fuck down, right? You should have sat down. But of course, you're drinking, so you're not in your right. You're not in your right frame of mind or whatever it is. Or maybe in that moment, you felt like, it's a lot going on. Let me just end it or whatever it is. And then that you're not thinking clearly, and this is the decision that you unfortunately made, and now you're gonna have to pay for it.
And that happens. How many times in anger and sadness you do shit out of rage? You know what I'm saying?
He was just talking about the Kia boys going inside the whip stealing shit. Now we got this one.
That's not out of rage, bro.
That's not out of rage, though.
An educated woman. This is a woman who's a nurse who just gave up her whole career over some nigga that she had a problem with. Over some nigga probably cheating.
Because she needs to manage her. She needs to manage her emotions better, though. That's what I'm talking about, right? Regardless of whatever the catalyst was for her. I'm saying that this is why mental health is so important. We need to learn how to manage our sadness and our anger. You know, there's no way around that. I sometimes have to be mindful of myself. I'm a nurse, right? I'm an educated. I have a master's degree. And there's times that I get so sad and that sadness turns to anger real quick.
TJ.
Real fucking quick.
TJ.
And sometimes I can't manage what I would do. I don't know what I would do, but I pray that I sit with myself and meditate. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that'd be a dope idea if when you get to certain parts in school, you have an emotions 101 class. And I feel like it should put us in environments that make us say, hey, what would you do in this situation, or if this was an event, or how does this make you feel? And because I feel like emotional intelligence is not something everybody has.
We're taught.
We have a training and not to cut you off, Flash. There's a training on my job. You know what that training is called? Emotional intelligence.
Right.
Yes, and I send people there all the time because it's you need this emotional intelligence training. Really quickly, I'm just gonna jump in really quickly. Go ahead.
Emotional intelligence about you controlling your emotions, or is it you being more in touch with other people's emotions?
It's everything. It's all of it.
It's a lot. But you should be able to discern how you want to. I don't even necessarily say you want to predict, but you should know kind of how you want to behave in certain circumstances. So if you're sad, you have either ways to cope about that don't harm people, or can actually find you to a place where you can find healing or do the things that heal you without being maybe erratic or quick to hurt people or hurt yourself even. It's just different ways of handling your emotions properly.
Absolutely. So we're gonna just really briefly, in case people want to know, but Kim and Pete broke up. That's a big thing going on. And and Nelly Nelly actually brought Ashanti out on stage. So that's the biggest thing that they're talking about.
No, they broke up.
Yeah.
He does look like a sucker now, though, because he was talking a little shit about Kanye before, so he does kind of look like a sucker.
It wasn't harsh. It wasn't a harsh breakup. Their just schedules is really busy and stuff like that.
Didn't he have Kim K's initials or something?
Yeah, he
did some crazy
shit. He does tats a lot.
Yeah, so he does a whole bunch of tats. That's nothing for me. But that was basically it. And that and Ashanti and Nelly actually brought out Ashanti, so everybody knows. But really, back in the day, when the verses came out, Joe kind of brought Ashanti out. That was the first time her and Nelly had, kind of seen each other in a while, and now he actually brought her out on stage. So everybody's speculating oh shoot, are they getting back together? But it is what it is.
I wish
so
Nelly the best.
Pete was a rebound anyway. Pete was a rebound.
I feel like Nelly been after that for so long. It's not even funny.
Well, so we're gonna go into our Ratchet Pics, I guess. Well, TJ, what we have time for? You want to jump into Ratchet Pics, or you want to jump into?
Yeah, let's do the Ratchet Pics.
Okay.
I got one. I was. During our mental health session, I was talking about this book that I've been listening to because I listen to books. But it's Dick Gregory's autobiography. The book is entitled Nigger. I am probably like, I want to say halfway through it. If you don't know about Dick Gregory, he's a comedian, activist, and a whole bunch of other things. Run track star, all types of shit. But yeah, it's just his autobiography kind of gives some light to how he spent like a lot of his childhood and up, you know, with his experiences, especially in a time where Black people were looked at a whole lot different, and the times were a lot tense in terms of just being Black. So yeah, really cool book so far.
Tabbing more insight on Dick Gregory. He was close personal friends with Malcolm X, right? Just to give you some context, Dick Gregory was also, he's very, very intelligent. Most comedians are, right? And what Dick Gregory shared in that book, because I also read it as well, is that he told Malcolm that he was going to get shot the day before he died. He said, I'm not going to go there because I know what's going on. You know what I mean? So I think that's a really insightful read, you know, just to throw that tidbit in there about that book, about Dick Gregory. He's definitely one of the ancestors for sure. He was spitting some real shit in that book.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Beautiful, guys. So we'll be dropping that book in our show notes. So check that out on Audible.
Where can they find us at, TJ?
Yeah, and you can find us wherever you hear podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Leave us a review. Follow us on those platforms. So every Wednesday when our new episode comes out, you'll get that little notification to listen to the new episode. You can follow us on social media. We're on IG at So Ratchet Podcast. We're on TikTok at So Ratchet Podcast. We're also on Twitter at So Ratchet Pod, and YouTube at So Ratchet. That's one word, space, and then podcast.
Wait.
What?
Did we finish with the Ratchet reviews?
Do you have something else that
you have something? You should have jumped in.
I had something.
So why you didn't just jump in? Come on,
why didn't you speak up?
Get your life, sir. Get your life. Shake.
All right, so all right, so
this thing got his ball clippers on the fucking screen.
These clippers right here, guys. All right, you can find them on Amazon. We're gonna put them in the show notes. They're only $21. Okay, if you like rechargeable clippers or a pair of clippers to travel with, these are really good clippers to utilize.
Just for manscaping,
right here. Yo, and as far as manscaping, right? I cut my balls with these clippers right here.
After you cut your face?
No. I got two different pair. I cut my balls with a pair of these clippers right here, and they have. I have two pair. Okay?
We got you.
Show it. Go behind the screen. Show both of them right now. Nigga,
you only got one, TJ. You only got one. You go ball the face right away. Ball the face.
TJ,
it's never face to balls. Always balls to face.
I'm muting my mic.
So you cut your balls. No nicks, ladies and gentlemen, no nicks. So if you don't like to use like Nair, or you don't like to shave with a shit, I'm be honest with you, like shaving with a what do you call those things? Like a shaving, like a razor. Sometimes it cuts too low for Black people, and it's a lot of itch when it comes back up. But if you use clippers, you can get the lowest cut possible without any nicks, and you don't get the itching. All right, just saying, like, or it minimize the itching.
So one of the things I want to piggyback on that is razor bumps. All right, so as a Black man, we typically have to suffer from razor bumps. That's because our hair is curly and it grows under the skin as it grows up, and that's unsightly for a lot of us. So that's typically why we don't use straight razors in our pubic areas. Flash is holding it down for the ball game because he uses straight razor on top of his head, but I guarantee he has second thoughts about doing it elsewhere. All right.
All I'm gonna say is go with the grain. Go with the grain.
Take it away. I'm not bringing both clippers out.
All right, guys. So that's the end of the episode. I want to just share with you guys the word of the week tally. Shake's word of the week.
I'm dumbfounded. I ain't winning.
You motherfucker! I knew you was gonna do that.
What, me?
Not you.
No, Flash. You just said dumbfounded just now.
Oh, okay. Well,
wait, no, it's not Ty. I used it twice. When you told me to shut the fuck up, I said I'm dumbfounded about all these smart women.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
Right,
so I got two. So I'm the winner.
Whatever.
How you win with two? I said it twice. What you mean?
Yeah, it's a tie.
You did?
TJ, you a bad scorekeeper, bro.
You know why I was? Because she was practicing the gong. Let's gong us out, TJ.
Guys.
Gong us out.
Gong us out, TJ.
Gong us out, TJ.
really
Come
bad
on,
about
TJ,
this.
get it.
Nash did catch me behind the scenes. If you're on YouTube and you're watching us on YouTube,
I've been seeing
you
it.
may have seen me practicing on
practicing. Yes.
Nigga, let this work, Father God, please. Right?
It's your
And
time.
I think I got it, guys.
Your time,
So,
All right, give her her solo. It's her solo.
You ready? All right, go. Come on,
ready for your solo.
so deep breath in and out. And let's just do one quick bin. Okay.
Good job,
Perfecto.
My nigga cleanse.
That's
Good
a
job.
Ghana master.
Good job.
Perfecto. That's what I
Ghana
do to
master.
people. Great.
She's back. She's back, nigga. She's back.
Good job, TJ. Well done, Queen.
You clutch.
So thank you for listening to another episode of Sophisticatedly Ratchet.
Facts.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.